Core and PT. My name is Dara. I am a physical therapist as well as a strength coach. So this is my quick class for you guys. I host class live weekly. Subscribe to the channel to get notifications. I'm going to go over some core strength. I'm going to give you guys some PT tips as a physical therapist myself. So this class is for you if you're looking for some core strength, some injury prevention, and just a couple of my quick tips. This is what I do with my clients, my patients, cyclists, runners, endurance athletes. If that's you, join me for 30 minutes. We're gonna start off in standing, just get our bodies warmed up. I always like to start with a little bit of mobility, get things moving, get some blood flowing, then we're gonna take it down onto the mat. We've got some advanced core work. I will give you options, modifications. Listen to your body. That is my first suggestion, always as a PT. Subscribe to my channel. I have a PT playlist. I've got my core strength playlist, all of it. You're gonna get all of it today. Weights are optional if you've got them. Not needed, but always nice to add to your core strength. So we're gonna start off in standing. Let's do a nice little yoga, easy warm up. Just again, getting things moving, getting some nice blood flow into the body. Listen to your body. I'm gonna give you some cues throughout class, things to listen to, think about, just in terms of keeping your body resilient and strong. Inhale, reach to the sky, lengthen, crown of the head to the ceiling, focusing on that nice posture, ears over shoulders, lining up. Alignment is what we're working on. Last breath here, root your feet into the ground, drawing up the arches, nice strong feet, lengthening. And then exhale, forward fold, bring the arms all the way down. This is just an easy vinyasa yoga warm-up. I'm just gonna walk you through it just to get going, and then we're gonna get down to our core work. Hang out here, knees are nice and soft. Give your lower back a nice little stretch, gentle, right? Keeping the knees relaxed, taking some tension off that sciatic nerve, keeping everything nice, supple, relaxed. Hang out here, one more breath. And then on your next inhale, halfway lift, flat back. This is your hip hinge. So being able to dissociate your back from your hips for a lot of people is a challenge. So I'm working on keeping my back nice and flat, straightening out the knees, getting a nice little stretch in my hamstrings. This should feel good. Brace with your abs. Keep your back supported right here. And then bring your hands down, step back into plank. We have a couple of planks in the warm-up, so I'll give you guys some options, modifications. If planks aren't your jam, don't worry about it. I'll give you some other tips. Hold here, pressing away from the mat. Spread your fingers wide, active shoulders. I'm not here, I'm here. Tucking the chin in. And then exhale, knees down, slowly lower elbows close to my sides, keeping that chest open, pinching the shoulder blades down my back. Uncurl your toes. Set yourself up for a nice little baby cobra. A little bit of spine extension. Pull the shoulder blades down your back. As you do that, you're going to engage your lats. That's going to help to stabilize, support your lower back. So you're not pinching into that lower back unsupported. Nice extension here. Exhale back down. I'm starting slow just so I can talk you guys through this first round. Uncurl your toes, push yourself back, downward facing dog. Drive your hips up high to the sky. Again, this is a hinge. Just like our deadlift, I'm hinging at my hips. I'm driving my hips back. I'm flattening out my upper back. I'm not here. I'm here. Again, hands are engaged, spreading the fingers wide, pressing back, pedal the feet. Give your calf and your ankles a nice little stretch. Give this a lot to my cyclists and my runners. Nice supple calf and ankles. That's your base of support. If that's not moving, guess what? Your knees and your hips are not going to feel great. So do this downward dog, pedal, pedal, pedal. That's the entire flow. Walk your hands back to your feet. Let's go to round two. We're going to do 2 more rounds just like this, speeding it up, rolling up one vertebrae at a time. Inhale, reach to the sky. Round 2, lengthen, crown of the head to the ceiling. Nice tall spine, elongate. Exhale, forward fold, bring the arms all the way down. Knees are soft, shake it out, nice and relaxed. One breath here. On your next inhale, halfway lift, flat back. This is your hinge. Also your deadlift position. Hold it here. Hands come down, step back into plank, strong shoulders, strong hands, pressing away from that strong. Chin is tucked. Exhale, lower, either knees down or all the way down. Elbows are close to my sides. I'm keeping my chest open. Uncurl your toes. Press yourself up into cobra. Or if you want to come all the way up into up dog, I want this to be controlled. Pull the shoulder blades down your back. That's going to support that lower back. Engage. Open up the chest. We spend so much of our lives flexed, hunched over things. This is extension. This should be good on the spine. Your spine needs mobility in all directions. So this should feel good. If it's not, back off, right? You can go into your cobra stretch, but if you're not, enjoy this. We need extension. Our spine needs to move all directions. Last breath here, exhale back down. Push yourself back, downward facing dog. Again, Strong hands planted, fingers wide, drive the hips up high to the sky, pedal the feet, mobilize the calf and ankles, pedaling those feet out. We've got our last flow here, and then we're moving on. Walk your hands back to your feet. If you've got your weights, we are gonna add a little bit to our warm-up, optional, totally optional. Last round here, and then we're moving on. Inhale, reach, lengthen, crown of the head. Exhale, forward fold, all the way down. Knees are soft, hang out here, shake it out, release tension in the back. Inhale, halfway lift. You should be feeling kind of warm, right? Warmed up, moving, blood is flowing, engaged. Abs, I'm bracing, hold it here. Exhale, lower however you want. Uncurl your toes, press yourself up, spine extension. Up dog or cobra, last time, enjoy it. Exhale, back down. Push yourself back downward, facing dog. Let's hang out in downward dog for a second. Now, if you can't really do planks and they're not great on your shoulders, please take a break, or you can go into child's pose, or you can do any other stretch that you want right now. If you are okay with this tall plank position, I want you to lengthen your stride. And then I want you to find the position at the finish where you're here, you're stacked, you're not way far in front. Stacked. So we're going for alignment stacked, hands underneath, wrists underneath the shoulders. Again, I'm pushing away. I'm not sinking here. And then exhale it back. So you're just gonna go back and forth a couple times. Again, just warming everything up, getting the shoulders ready. We don't really have that many planks today in class, so this is our chance. Work a little bit of that upper body. Again, adding the weights is always a great way for your core strength. I tell all my clients to add a little bit of more upper body in to your core. A lot of us, especially endurance athletes, we're not doing a lot of weight training and we're not doing a lot of upper body strength. So grab some weights if you have them for my classes. Reach back and tap if you can. If not, that's okay. You can always take a break. We're gonna finish our last part of our warm-up in standing. So if you do have weights, I've got my 10s, nothing too heavy, right? This is not our big heavy lifting day. This is just more of our core strength. One more time, just like this. Reaching back, one more. And then walk your hands back to your feet. Come into standing. We're gonna do squats, AKA our chair pose. This is a nice opportunity. Your squat position is great for building lower body strength, duh, but also a nice way to work on your mobility, hips, ankles, knees when you get here. So for a lot of my patients who are maybe rehabbing, I might start with an air squat. Your air squat is your chair pose, right? Chair. So we're gonna make this dynamic. Find your stance, find your comfortable stance. Again, if you've got your weights, I've got a kettlebell, I've got dumbbells, whatever, you can have 2 weights at your sides, you can have your weight here, goblet, squat, really up to you, right? I want you to work on the mechanics first. So driving, draw the arches up. So if my toes are planted, I'm gonna draw the arches up. That's gonna help to pull my knees out. That's gonna help to engage my booty. And then I'm gonna sink back into my chair, right? Chair pose is your back squat. Again, I'm trying not to drive my knees too far forward. Everyone's gonna be different with their squat. You're gonna look different than me. I want you to find that comfortable stance. So if you don't have weights, we're just gonna do dynamic chair pose, up and down. Get into those hips. This is a great way to open up your hips, ankles, knees, right? So that's the mobility. It's also some good strengthening, right? So if you've got your weights at my chest, I'm keeping my back nice and flat. I'm not here, right? Posture, I'm sinking back into the chair, which is your chair pose. So let's just do a few of these. This is just our warm up. So continue doing those. Again, working on some nice depth. So this is your opportunity to sink into those hips, right? So for my patients, people working on some stiffness, some tightness in the hips, this is a great way to work on the mobility, right? Not just the strength. So let's finish with our last few, and then we're gonna take it down onto the mat. We've got our core series next. Again, we want all of it. Mobility, we want some injury prevention, we want some strength. 2 more. Last one. All right, should be feeling kind of warmed up, right? So if you've got your weights, keep them at your sides. We're gonna add them to our core series today. I'm gonna start off pretty simple, right? One of my classics, your bicycle crunch. We've got 3 moves in our series today. So we're gonna have our bicycle crunches. We're gonna have a lot of obliques as our focus, and then some deep deep abdominal work to finish. So we're gonna do bicycle crunches, then we're gonna do a Russian twist with your weights in seated, then we're gonna finish with some lower abdominal work, challenging. But let's start off with that bicycle crunch. Again, pretty easy, hard to mess up. So I'm here, I'm bringing my rib cage down, connect here, right? I want you to find that center, that axis is your belly button. So it's not about straining my neck, right? I want my chin tucked in, I want my neck stable and supported. So if your neck gets really fatigued with a lot of core work, part of it is position, tuck the chin in. These are my PT tips. Part of it is strength, right? Strengthen your neck. And then part of it is just working on being supported, right? So if you have a prior neck issue or whatever, you can always have the hands supporting the head. I suggest push your head back into your hands here rather than pulling up, push back. So that's gonna be that chin tuck, right? So these are just a couple of my PT tips that I'll tell people when they're telling me, oh, my neck hurts every time I do core, whatever, right? So again, we're gonna go through, we've got our obliques, a little oblique heavy workout today. Rotating here, extending the legs, nice long set, 3 rounds, 3 moves. We're gonna stretch, be done, that's it for class today, right? Every class is a little different. Some classes have a little bit more glutes, lower back, etc. I'm always gonna give you guys some PT tips and some sports specific tips, right? So let's finish with our bicycles, nice endurance, working on some muscular endurance, this long set. We're not going super heavy with the weights today, right? Last few here, breathing, chin is tucked, rotating, 4, 3, 2, 1, coming up into seated. Russian twist, I want you to find that seated position first. Find that sweet spot. You're sitting kind of on the little fleshy part here. I'm not sitting on my tailbone. I'm here, I'm retracting my shoulder blades down my back, again, engaging my lats here. And then if you wanna add the weights, I got my little 10 pounder, whatever. I'm just gonna add that twist. I'm adding some nice rotation. I want you to think about, so picking a challenging weight, this doesn't have to be super heavy, but enough that it feels real, right? If you don't have weights, that's totally fine. You can also play around with having the feet elevated, right? So that hovering the feet, much more balance challenge. And again, that's gonna work your core as well. So you pick, I suggest as a coach, you pick one. So if you're gonna go heavier with the weights, focus on your form with the weights. If you're not, you're going to focus on the balance, right? Just so that you're not getting sloppy with your form. We don't want to come out of here with the lower back feeling sore or achy. So part of it is also finding that sit bone position. So you're not here. This is not my good form. I want to be sitting up nice and tall. I want to have my chest open so my back is strong and stable and supported. Not everybody loves this position. This doesn't always feel great to people, so you can come back onto the mat if this doesn't feel good on your back. You could do something different. You could do a little bit of like ankle grabs, or you could go back to more bicycles. So let's finish here with our Russian twist. And then we're gonna come down onto the mat for some lower abdominal work. Weights are optional for that last move. 4 more, 3, 2, 1. On your back, legs are gonna lower back up, fluttering the legs up and down. Weights, totally optional. I'm gonna show you why you want the weights. Optional. My legs are gonna come up. My lower back is staying pressed down. And I'm going to flutter them down and up. Seems easy, right? It's quite challenging because as your legs lower, you need to have that lower back staying pressed down, and that requires a lot of core control. What I suggest, if you have the weights, is if you hold them here, it gives you something to hold on to, and for many people, it makes it a little bit easier to stabilize. Now, you don't need to do that. You could be here. You don't even need the weights. You can maybe not go as low, but this is challenging. As you get lower, you're gonna feel that lower back wanna lift. Do not let it lift. So my suggestion is if you don't have the weights, you can have your arms at your sides and lift your head up, because that's gonna help to push that lower back down. It's gonna connect you here. If you don't, you want to be here, that also works. If you want to have your head down, you totally can. You just need to keep that lower back pressed down. Flutter, flutter, flutter. As I lower, my lower back stays pressed down the whole time. Let's do 3 more. 2, these are challenging. 1 more. And rest. Whew. Back into that first move. We are not taking breaks. Bicycles, connect here, and then rotate. Back at it. Again, 3 rounds. 3 rounds, 3 moves, that's all. Most of my classes kind of follow this format. Different exercises. Again, subscribe, you'll get notifications of other live classes. I will be hosting more classes every week, usually Fridays. Tune in. Bicycle. So again, every class is going to be a little bit different focus. We want to make sure we're ticking all the boxes with our core work, so we're not just always doing planks, or we start off with a little plank. We're not only just doing obliques. We're not only just doing whatever, right? Glutes. We're gonna hit everything. Core is everything, right? Back, abs, glutes, breath, pelvic floor, all of it. Work, all of it. Getting some nice rotation, keeping my chin tucked, stabilizing my neck, really extending the legs. Let's go. Keep going, keep going, keep going. 10, 9, 8. Working my legs. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rocking up into seated. Russian twist, sitting up nice and tall, locked in. I'm here, bracing, shoulders pulling down my back, grabbing my weights. Round 2. 1 more round after this. Then we're done. Stretch and be done. Paying attention to my form. Am I sitting up nice and tall like we started off class? Crown of the head to the ceiling. I'm not here. I'm here. All right, so just taking some of these tips. I really like to give lots of cues and little PT tips in this class because this is your opportunity to practice. And when you get this ingrained into your head in this short little class, it will carry through to the rest of your life and to your sports. So work on that stuff now, right? Work on that stuff in this class, being intentional, paying attention to your form. Where am I feeling it? Where am I engaging? Where am I activating? Let's do a few more here, and then we've got those lower abdominals, the fluttering the legs down. 4 more. 3, 2, 1. Again, you decide which version you want to do. I like this one. Up to you. Again, modify as needed. Again, you can also just maybe don't go as low, right? The lower you go, the harder it's going to be to stabilize. Lower back should be glued to the floor the whole time. If you're a big person with big, strong legs, your legs weigh more than mine. So it's going to be harder to control as they get lower. Right, so just be mindful of that. Right, this is different, going to be more challenging for somebody with a strong, big, heavy leg. Let's do a few more. We've got our last round coming up. Kick, 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 kick. Quick, quick, quick. Chin is tucked in. Whatever version you decide. Let's do 4 more. 3 more. Kick it out. These are hard. 2. Last one. Beautiful. All right. Bicycles, last round. Burn it out. Locked in here. Here. Last round. And again, I'm thinking of that belly button. That's kind of my axis of rotation. We're creating power across the body. Those obliques help to drive power. Opposite hand to knee, running, swimming, biking, whatever. Also creating that connection here across. And stability, right? We want core strength. We're going to be stronger in our sports, but also this is just to be more stable, resilient, keep your spine healthy, keep your body resilient for life, right? It's not just our sports. Let's keep going here. Let's do 4, 3, 2, 1. Rush and twist. Last round. Find that position, whichever version you're doing, weights or unweighted, up to you. I'm gonna do my weights for my last one, sitting up nice and tall, locked into my position. Starting just as strong as I finished, really being in control, getting that full range of motion, really rotating side to side. Last few, last round. Burn it out, rotate, really move that spine. Again, also a great exercise for some mobility in your spine. Rotate. Get that upper mid back to rotate. Let's do our last few here. 4 more. 3, 2, 1. On your back. Last one. You decide which version you want to do. Breathing. Should be some audible breathing. Stabilizing that lower back, right? I'm really keeping that lower back pressed down. There should be 0 space. When I say 0, I literally mean I should not be able to get my little finger or even my fingernail in that lower back crease, right? Creating a lot of stability. Press down, back up, and back up. Finishing strong. We are almost done. I see the finish line. We just have stretching after this. Some days I'll add a little bit more lower back to finish. Sometimes I'll add a little bit more glutes to finish. I think I'm just gonna get into some stretching today. Let's do 3 more, just like this. Down, back up, and back down. 1 more. Perfect. I lied. Let's flip over. Let's do our last little lower back. So face down. Last little move here. Just easy. Lower back activation work. Opposite arm and leg is going to lift. Just finish with some easy Superman's, Superwoman's, Superhuman. Reach. Opposite arm and leg. Activate and lower. I want you to think about that lengthening through the spine here. Just like we started off class with. Crown of the head. Chin is tucked in. I'm reaching. So I'm not arching my back terribly. It's more about lift, lengthen. Get space into that spine. Nice, healthy spine. We need this healthy movement and spine space as we get older. You don't want to be hunched over and really stiff. So create that length, lengthen, and lower. Last few, then we're going to stretch, and that is it for today. Lengthen. 2 more. Just like this, nice and easy, activating that whole backside of your body. 1 more time. Activate. Perfect. Come back onto your back. Hug the knees into the chest. Let's stretch. Let's stretch and be done with class. Hug the knees in. Nice and easy, side to side, rocking these knees. Again, I'm going to take you through a series. Modify as needed. Anything that feels right to you, add it in. You can always add your own stretches in. Now is your chance to just kind of take a look at your own body. See how everything's feeling, right? Extend that left leg long, shake it out, release tension in that left leg, hug that right knee, and find a good squeeze. Good position, really squeezing it around. Maybe roll the ankles and the toes around. Get those feet healthy, happy, moving. Nice little circles here, rolling them around. Hugging that knee into the chest. And then with your left hand, bring that right knee across your body. Find that position on you that just feels like a nice, good stretch, right? So you're getting maybe a little stretch in the booty here, maybe lower back. If you want to rotate more off the mat, getting into that lower back if that feels good. Right arm is going to extend out at about a 45-degree angle. It's going to open up that chest and rib cage. Head goes wherever it feels comfortable. So again, maybe you have your knee higher, maybe lower, figuring out just what's working for you and your body, right? So everyone's going to look different in this pose, right? We're all built differently. I want you to just get a good stretch out of this. Slow down the breath as well. Inhale through the nose. Exhale out through the mouth. Take your time. Relax your nervous system. Release tension. One more nice long inhale through the nose. And then exhale it out through the mouth. These twists also nice for digestion, right? So we're just really breathing, relaxing. Come back to center. Let's do our figure 4 stretch. Little hip opener here, one of my favorites. Reaching through, if that's available to you, should be like a nice big juicy hip stretch on that right hip, right? If this doesn't feel good, you can also just do knee to chest. You could do child's pose. Got a lot of other options. If you want more aggressive, you could do pigeon pose where you're face down, right? So just see how everything's feeling. Roll the shoulders out, release any tension. Let the head go side to side. Release any of that neck tension. Focus on your breath. Inhale through the nose. Exhale out through the mouth. Lower the shoulders out of your ears. Tuck that chin in. We're thinking of this nice aligned posture. It's not about good posture. It's not about perfect posture. It's just about alignment, right? Last breath here, and then we'll hit the other side. Keep everything relaxed. Just breathe. And then when you're ready, unwrap that right leg, shake it out. Let's hit that left side. Hug the knees in. Roll the ankles and the toes again. Getting a nice gentle stretch. Finish on this side. Rolling the feet out. And then bring that knee across your body. Same thing. Finding that angle that feels right on you. Right head goes wherever it feels comfortable. Maybe just shake it out. Release tension. Maybe knees here. Maybe knee is here. Maybe I'm more off the mat. Everyone's different, right? So you're going to have to kind of play with that. I have an entire playlist of just mobility, low back, hip stretches. So you can check that out too. See if there's something else that feels better for your body. And breathe, slow down the breath. We'll finish with that figure 4 stretch. I love these stretches. They feel good to me. Someone who does running, cycling, weightlifting, open up the hips, get the spine moving. Some basics, right? Doesn't need to be fancy. You just need a routine and some consistency. Roll the shoulders. Roll the shoulders. Release tension. Inhale through the nose. And then exhale out through the mouth. Last few breaths. We are almost done with class. We're just going to finish in seated, and then that is it for today. Make sure to subscribe to the channel to get notifications of live classes. Check out all my group coaching offers, small group coaching, if that's something you want more of, one-on-one as well. Unwrap the feet. Windshield wiper the knees side to side, nice and easy. Roll onto your side, coming up into seated. Let's finish with our last seated stretch. You don't need to be sitting cross-legged. Sit however you feel comfortable. Let's work on that nice tall spine posture. Chin is tucked in, crown of the head to the ceiling. Inhale, reach to the sky, lengthen. And then exhale it out. One more time, tall posture. Inhale, reach it up. We are done with class, lengthening through the spine. Take this with you throughout the rest of your day. Exhale it out. That is it for class for today. Thank you guys so much for coming. I hope you got something good out of class. I will see you next time. Check out all my links below to all the other things that I offer and all my other playlists. I'll see you guys next time.